my friend, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hana, and today I am going to organize my makeup. I don't know, I guess it'll sort of also be a declutter because I'm sure I have things in here that I just have to face the reality and let it go, get rid of them. You'll see as I'm going through this video the different type of organization system that I had. I had a very minimal amount of makeup. I had very, very little makeup, so the little boxes and containers that I had fit everything that I had and used. But now that I'm getting more products in and using different stuff, I'm running out of space, and the little table that I use to film and do my makeup at, it's getting overcrowded with things just stacking on top of each other, and I can't handle the chaos. So I just want to organize my stuff. I did buy a new dresser for my closet, and the set of drawers that I'm going to be using in this video were a set of drawers that I used in my closet for a number of things like socks and bras and things like that. But now that I have an actual dresser, I can now use this for my makeup. I originally wanted to use this for my crafting stuff, so maybe I'll just buy another one and have two. I don't know. I don't plan on having the big IKEA vanity setup. I don't have the space for it, and because I move around every few years, it's hard to have a lot of stuff and move. So I would rather just use what I have and what works for me. And I think this will also keep me from just buying a bunch of things because I have space to put it in. Because I've said this time and time again, I don't mind having a number of things, a number of bronzers or a number of blushes, but I don't want to just have a lot of stuff. I want it to be good stuff. So I think a majority of my collection is just that. So what I want to do is kind of separate the things that I'm not really using right now, but I don't want to get rid of, and tuck them away in the drawers, and then kind of keep the things that I've been reaching for, that I've been wanting to play with, in the little caddies that I have. Perfect. I think that's a great plan. I'm gonna try and film this top down so you can see all the products that I'm using. I'll try not to do too many swatches. I don't want this video to be terribly long, but I do know that there's a niche on the internet that likes to watch decluttering and sorting videos. I know I do, not just in makeup, but just in general, because there's something about a clean space that really fulfills my heart. So if this is that kind of video that you like, I'm going to try my best to deliver good content. So let me try to flip you guys down so you can see my floor and the products I'm going to be using. Okay, so I think this is a decent angle so you can kind of see the drawers as I'm going, and I can put things in frame. I'm using a little tripod, so it's hard for me to really get a full overlay. But as you can see, this is the basket that has every single one of the palettes that I own. And I know for some content creators that's not anything crazy, but for me that's a lot. It's a lot to go from 1 or 2 palettes to having this many. So I'm gonna just start with the back of the palette, because I already know how I feel about this one. So I did get this Jeffree Star palette, and it is the big nudes collection. This was maybe one of the first eyeshadow palettes that I bought after I started really getting into makeup and I wanted to do more cosplay looks. I'm not going to get rid of this palette. I know that I have other palettes that have these neutral tones in it, but I don't know. The Jeffree Star formula is weird in that I feel like I can use it for my eyes, but I can use it for my face. I mostly use this palette when I'm contouring for a cosplay because it has all the shades and tones that I need. And when I cosplay, I like to do a lot of color play. So for me, this is just like the perfect palette that if I'm going to a con or if I'm doing a look, I really just only use this one palette and I can get a lot out of it. It's a lot of shades and it's hard to carry, but I find that trying to carry a number of smaller items is just as difficult as trying to carry big items. So I'd rather just have less. Less is more. So I'm going to tuck this one away. I guess I'll pull these ones out. Are my BH Cosmetics palettes. I have my ice cream cone palette. So I have the pistachio, I have the cherry on top, and I have the orange sorbet. And I think I've done a video with each of these palettes, I believe. I know I did a Naruto look. I did that terrible Zuko look. It wasn't really supposed to be Zuko. And then this is my green palette. I'm gonna tuck these ones on the side because I don't know if I want to tuck them away yet. I mean, I have other things, so I'm just gonna put it here for now. What else? My Gemini palette. I think I'm gonna keep this one in my basket and my She's and Parties palette, because these are palettes that I mostly do reach for outside of doing looks for YouTube and the internet, and because it's getting more into the fall season, I want to dip more into these looks. I think these are really cute, and I really, really like having these ones out. Like I tend to reach for them more than you would think. So I'm going to tuck those ones aside. My Norvina palette, I think I'm going to tuck this one away. I haven't really reached for it. It's one of my favorite palettes. I think this was the second palette I got after my Ultraviolet palette. I really like to do spring looks. I know it's obvious, spring looks with this very pink and purple palette, but I feel like I have other palettes that have like a very similar color story that it's okay for me to tuck this one away. I'm not really reaching for it as often as I was. So that goes in its home. I will pull out my two Colourpop palettes or themed palettes. So I have this cute Sailor Moon one and I have the Lizzie McGuire palette. I was really reaching for these when I got them, and then I was using other things. I don't know, like I had new palettes that came out, and so like I kind of forgot about these ones. And this green, pink, and purple color story, I swear I have like really 1,000 times over. So I don't know. I think I'm going to tuck these ones away for now. I don't want to get rid of them. I really, really do enjoy them. They're just not the kind of shades or tones that I'm reaching for right now. As far as like what my seasonal preference in makeup is right now, and just kind of like what my mood is with makeup. So I'm just going to tuck these ones away. Although I do really, really like them. This one is a lot lighter. And I feel like it shows up more when my skin has like the it's the summertime tanned kind of skin. So I'm just gonna hold out for summer. This is probably like my summertime palette, and I love my Lizzie McGuire palette. It's not a Lizzie McGuire weekend right now, but it will be hopefully in the future once spring comes around. So those ones are gonna go in its home. So I have this Nabla Cutie palette, and I don't really reach for it as often as I thought I would. I want to play with it more, and it definitely has those berry tones, and these like this Alchemy 2.0 shade really always calls to me when I open it and kind of start playing with it in the light. Like here it looks like blue, but then it's pink. Super cute. So I think I'm gonna hold this one on the side because it is the berry tones, and see what kind of looks I can come up with this. Oh, look, you can see my camera. Say hi. But I'm gonna tuck this one, or I'm gonna keep this one in the basket because I want to use it more. These are ones that I use all the time. I think I'm gonna keep my Club Nebula palette in my basket. I want to play more with these blue shades. I want to dig more into this palette. I really enjoy these greens, but I'm going to keep this one in my basket because I want to use it more. And then that leaves me with my Sashimi City and my Lunar Lavender palette and my Futurism 1 palette, and I reach for these all the time. I think right now, as far as like my purple looks go, I'm not really quite reaching for my Lunar Lavender, but I really like this Sashimi City. I obviously remember that I have these, so I think I'm just gonna tuck these away, so then it forces me to use the other palettes with the similar shades, because I tend to forget that I have shades that have a similar color story and just reach for these ones. And that's the same with my Kaleidos Futurism palette, the first one. I'm just gonna tuck these away. I know that I have them and I think that they're super cute, and I just don't need them in my basket right now. I can tuck these sweet babies away. As far as my Kaleidos Flower Punk palette, I really want to keep this one in my collection because it still meets my grungy green tones, but it still has my pinks and the blues that I want to play with. I want to get more use out of this palette, so I'm going to keep it in my basket. And then, okay, so I really like my little Colourpop Sunflower palette. It's just a bunch of like brownie yellow mattes. I think it's really good. I know I did a video where I compared these shades to some of the shades in my Gemini palette, and like honestly they do look very similar if you're looking for like that more mustardy yellow, kind of deeper brown yellow kind of tones. So I'm gonna hold on to this, but I'm gonna tuck it away. This is one of my favorite palettes, and I've been really thinking about this because I think this is the first Colourpop palette I've ever bought, and I just don't really reach for this, and it's the Strawberry Shake palette. And I mean, it's just like the pink and red monochrome palette. I want to get a palette that has better red formulas in it, and I don't know, I don't think this is really one that like met the standards that we were looking for, and I feel like Colourpop has made other collections that have like such great quality. So I don't know, I'm gonna put this one aside. I'm not gonna put it in my basket, but I'm gonna put it with my declutter pile. But I don't know if I'm gonna declutter it. I might just have to do one more look to really like decide, because I haven't touched it. I think I may have touched this for like my Nezuko casual cosplay, but even then, like I only used 1 or 2 shades, and that's because like they were the shades that I needed, and I didn't have it in any other palette. So I'm just gonna put that on a maybe. I have my Juvia's Place Gray Quad palette. I'm going to keep this in my basket. I want to play more with like gray and black looks. And I really do enjoy this formula, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed recreating that Britney Spears look, so I want to play more with grays. And my Soft Glam 2. I really enjoy my little Soft Glam 2 palette. I use this Tempera shade all the time as like my inner corner highlight. I think with my Norvina palette, I'm going to tuck this one away so it forces me to use the browns and other shades from other palettes that I have, just so I can see how much I like those other shades and if those are palettes worth keeping, because I know that I really enjoyed this one. I just don't know if I really enjoyed the other ones in my collection. So this one is gonna go in its home. And I have my Prelude palette. I still haven't gotten rid of this one, and that Morpheus palette that's coming out is just kind of like similar color stories. I'm gonna put this one on the side. I know I said this last time, but I really just haven't touched it even when I filmed that last video. So I don't know what that tells me, but it's hard for me to like get rid of it because I think this is such like I love the packaging, and I know I shouldn't hold on to it for the packaging, but some of the shades, I don't know, I feel like it might just be user error that I'm not really utilizing this palette in the way that it's supposed to be utilized. So I don't want to blame the palette. I think it's me. I just need to try it. I just need to play with it. So I'm just gonna put it in this side pile, and maybe I'll do, and then I have my Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette, and this is like the iconic palette that got me back into makeup and that I really wanted to do all these looks. And this like color story is like with the neutrals and these purples and this like I don't know, I'm not saying that it is the Flower Punk palette because obviously it's not, but this like minty tone, really, I think this palette walked so this one could run. I don't know. Do I want to tuck it away in its home? I haven't really been reaching for it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tuck it away. I'm not getting rid of it. And then the next palettes that I have are the palettes that I've been reaching for all the time. So I have my So Very Lovely palette, which again, it meets my needs of purples and pinks, but it has like these deeper tones and lighter shades that I want to play with. So I want to utilize this look more. I want to say you can do deeper, kind of more exaggerated looks with this palette. So I want to try that out. I want to see. And then the second Colourpop palette that I've really been loving is obviously this Plush Like Me. I think in my past 5 videos, I have been wearing this the most. It's one of my favorite palettes. It definitely works for my like plummy, grungy kind of needs, but I can also do the casual, lighter, neutral look. So I'm gonna keep this one in my basket. And then I have, I can't decide what I want to do with my legs. The next 2 palettes I have are my Natasha Denona palettes, and I think you guys have seen this one a lot. I haven't really been filming with this one as much because when I got it, I had just gotten the Plush Like Me, and I was really enjoying using this palette. I know I said that I'm going to do a comparison video with these two just to see, and I still plan on doing that. But just so you guys can see the inside of the palette, again, it's just like those plummy like neutrals, and I feel like all the shades that I feel like all of the collections that I'm pulling out are still these like kind of berry tones, but I don't know, I'm really being called to berry tones right now, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to keep this one in my basket. And then I have my Natasha Denona Love palette. This is one where I think you guys have seen this one the most. And again, it's like that Natasha Denona palette, or excuse me, it's like my Norvina palette where it's like these pinks and purples with these like darker tones. So I think I'm going to leave it in my basket to replace my Norvina palette and see if, I don't know, I don't think I'll ever declutter my Norvina palette, but I don't know if you really need both, but it definitely gives you 2 different things. Like this is like pinks and purples with some reds, where the Norvina palette is definitely like some pinks and purples in a mostly neutral toned palette. So I'm going to hold on to both of those. And you guys just saw me open this the other day. It's my Juvia's Place palette. It's the Festival palette. I'm gonna keep this in my basket because I want to use it this month. I want to do Halloween themed makeup looks. I feel like I could achieve that. I don't know. I really want to love this palette. Again, even looking at it, I'm just really scared of like looking at this color story, but I might just have to dive in and just play with it. So that's what I'm going to do. So those are the things that I'm going to keep in my basket. Oh, I guess I will tuck these ones away as well because I don't really reach for them as often because I don't really lean towards my monochromatic palettes, but I really do enjoy them, so I'm just going to tuck them in their home. They'll be fine. Okay, so before I move into the next set of face products, I forgot I had some like eyeshadow singles sort of thing, so let's just go through these quickly. I had purchased these Stila liquid eyeshadows at a TJ Maxx, and I got them on a mega steal because I think they were only like $3 each. Weren't these like $17 products? Crazy. The shades that I got in particular were because I have this thing where I'm obsessed with like really burgundy red, deep red tones. And in my mind, I feel like I'm gonna use this shade for something. Have I yet? No, but it's also hidden away in a terrible organization system. I also have this something blue shade because this more like muted light blue is kind of the blue that I lean for when looking for eyeshadow products. I'm trying to find the perfect powder formula for this, like the perfect, I don't know, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to find the right palette that has like a similar blue to this, because I feel like you have to set these with a powder. Like, I don't know, I can never use these on their own. They don't look quite right, but anytime I put a powder over them when playing with them, they look really, really nice. And then I have this shade Yellow Tails, and I loved it as a highlighter. I saw someone do a makeup look on Instagram and they used the Sunflower palette from Colourpop and this particular Stila shade that's like a highlight on the lid, and I thought it was so pretty. So I really, really do enjoy these and I like these a lot, so I'm gonna hold on to them. Just wanted to let you guys know. And then I have this Colourpop in the shade Dream Lover. It is like a Super Shock shadow, and I really, really do enjoy this one. It's so soft in the pan, and it's like, I don't know, it's like this berry red, and it has like this blue like shift to it. It's really, really cute. I don't know, is this considered like, I don't think this is a duochrome, but I'm seeing multiple colors in it because there's like purples and blues and pinks, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm not getting rid of that one either, so I'm holding on to that. I have this Natasha Denona Zendo palette single shade. I got it as a sample from Ulta, or excuse me, I got it as a sample from Sephora when I made a purchase. And it's my favorite kind of like coppery brown kind of tone. And I really like the Natasha Denona formula. Maybe I'll end up getting the big Zendo palette that this is in, but I really enjoy having this small one. I think it's really cute. So you can tell how old these are because these have recently been re-released in like new packaging. And I have the shade Solstice, and like the stickers even starting to peel. Like, that's how old this is. Like, should I get rid of it? I don't know. But I really, really love these shades. I don't know. Is this considered a duochrome? Because it's similar to my, what's this Colourpop shade? It's similar to Dream Lover, which is up above right here, but this is the Urban Decay shade in Solstice. It's more red with the pop of blue, and I really, really do enjoy it. I mean, it doesn't smell weird. I don't know. I just know that they're so old. And like, should I replace them? Yes, but will I? I don't know. And then this one is the shade Lounge, which is kind of this like green to brown shade, which is really interesting. I really loved it because it was more of like a grungy tone, and like that shade is also really cool. Does it look kind of similar to the Zendo? No, it's a little bit deeper, but I think it's so cool, and like you can see that shift of green. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Even though these are ancient, I couldn't get rid of them. I've tried to so many times. I don't know. We'll see. If I don't reach for them in like 6 months, maybe I'll just finally toss them. Okay, and then I had gotten this lid light from Lime Crime at, I think it was Ross? ? It is supposed to be similar to the Super Shock formula, where it's like this wet, spongy kind of shadow. It's this gold color, and it's really nice, but I mean, do I really use shades like this? I don't know. So I'm gonna just put this aside with my other Lime Crime stuff. it's really, when I'm playing with it and swatching it on my hand like this, it looks really, really nice, but I don't know what this would actually look like on the eye. And if I couldn't just get a Super Shock shadow from Colourpop that I didn't like more. I think the complaint is that these dry super quick and that the packaging isn't ideal. Like, they'll get super crumbly. And they are a discontinued item on the Lime Crime website, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's go into my face powders and things like that. I have a number of items. So in this very first one, I try to keep it to like my cream products, but then it's also become like a double for my concealer. So we'll see. So right now I have the Born to Blush color palette and the At First Crush, and I also have this Beach Please Magic Hour Tower 28 cream blush. I think for these ones right now, I'm gonna tuck them, well, actually wait. I think for right now, maybe I'll keep the Born to Blush one, and I will tuck these ones away in my blush drawer. And I have the, well, I'll hold on to bronzers, that's fine. Let's do it one category at a time maybe, so I don't get overwhelmed. In my hands, I have my 3 Super Shock blushes from Colourpop. I really, really love these. If I'm reaching for any 2 particular shades, I think it's going to be this Georgetta and the Chiffon shade. Yeah, I mostly use this Chiffon shade as like a highlighter. I'm going to keep all 3 of these out because I really do reach for these ones a lot and they make me happy, and I'm going to keep these 3 out. Perfect. Great idea. Same with this Colourpop blush stick in Winona Forever. I've used this non-stop since I've gotten it, so we're holding on to it. Perfect. Love that for me. What else? Oh, I have my, oh, actually, let's just do all of my blushes. Let's just do that. Okay. So I have the Melt, what's it called? I think it's called, is it called the Buzzkill blush? Yeah. So it's like a highlight and, well, I use one side as a highlight and then the other one just as like a shimmery blush. It's really, really cute, and this is one of my favorite blushes. I'm not really reaching for it as often right now, so I'm going to tuck this away, as well as my Nabla blush. This is one of my favorite formulas. I really like a more dewy kind of shimmery cheek. Really, really cute. But these aren't shades that I'm reaching for right now. I'm just going to tuck it away. I'm not getting rid of it. Just putting it in its home. Blushes, but it's not truly a blush, is my Marc Jacobs Cafe Collection Trio. I really, really love this trio. I know that the highlighter isn't like the best highlighter in the entire world, but really when I use this specific trio, it's mostly when I'm just going out and enjoying my day, and like I'm gonna be out in the desert sun and I'm eating, and you know, I'm not really on camera or anything like that, but it still looks really, really nice and flattering in person. Really, really enjoy it. This pink blush is maybe a shade or 2 lighter than this one. Like if I go in with a very, very light hand, I get a similar effect. Like this blush, really, really enjoy it, but I'm gonna tuck it away from now because it's not one that I'm really reaching for as far as when I'm sitting down and doing my makeup. But I'm going to tuck it in my blush drawer. Perfect. Let's get into my bronzers. Perfect. Great idea. So I don't have too many bronzers. I feel like I have some really cool ones and then just like standard ones. Well, no, I think all of the blushes that I have or excuse me, all the bronzers that I have are pretty cool. So I have 2, 4, I have 5 bronzers in total, really. How, wow, look at me. I do want to get the ABH bronzer. I really do, but we'll talk about that later. This Kosas bronzer was my favorite bronzer of all time. I think it was like the bronzer that I used like alone, like the only bronzer I used when I first started making videos. It's my favorite. I'm not really into a dewy or a like shimmery bronzer right now. I go through phases. Like really right now I'm really enjoying my Soul body cream bronzer, and I'm really enjoying my Marc Jacobs bronzer. So these are the ones that I'm gonna hold onto in my basket. But everything else I'm gonna tuck away because I don't really reach for them right now. And that's also gonna be my cream Tower 28 bronzer. I thought it was okay. I really liked it, but again, I also use it on days where like maybe if I'm going to the racetrack and I'm gonna be out in the sun taking photos, but like it's okay, it's all right. If you don't, I don't think you're missing out on anything if you don't have it, but it's not like the worst bronzer. I'm not completely mad at it. So I'm gonna hold on to that in this drawer right here. And I'm also gonna tuck away this NARS, what's it even called? I don't know what it's called, but I think it's discontinued and they no longer make it. It's like the diffused, like I think it's a baked bronzer kind of thing. You can see that mine kind of has some like hard pan and it's a little weird, but I swear when you get it on the right brush, it's like the coolest color. I think it's essentially what the Kosas bronzer does more simply, but I really have come to like this. So I'm going to use it for as long as I have it. If I have other bronzers that replace it, that's fine. This may be one of my oldest bronzers, but I got it at, I think, TJ Maxx for a quarter of the price, and it was one of my first and favorite bronzers of all time. I think it's a really good one. You just have to have the right kind of brush to pick up the product. So great, glad we sorted that one out. Oh, I'm also gonna keep this one in my basket because I reach for this a lot more than you would think. And it kind of meets my bronzer, my Le Contour, and my banana shades that I need all in one. I really like this little trio, and I hope that Kaleidos never ever gets rid of it because it's really good. I think this is the bronzer that I'm even wearing today. It's just so easy. It's so easy to get like a really nice look, and you can do very casual looks with it, or you can do very extreme looks, which is really nice. Again, it meets that need of not having a lot, but having really good things. So I'm holding on to that one. I have my Fenty cream contour. This is in the shade Amber, and it's truly cool toned. And I mostly use this for contouring, especially when cosplaying. So I'm gonna tuck this one away because I'm not really reaching for it as far as like my everyday makeup look goes, but I really enjoyed this product. I think this is, I wish that the bronzer shades were a little bit more flattering, but I like this as a really nice like contour. So if you were a cosplayer, this is the cream contour to have. Let's get into my highlighters, because I think I have quite a few. For someone who never really liked highlighting, why do I have so many highlighters? Who knows? Oh gosh, I really have so many. I'm crazy. Okay, so these are all the highlighters that I have. 2, 4, 6, 7. I have 7 highlighters. A lot of them are very similar. The first one I have is this Hades one, and it's one of my favorites. I think it looks really good. I have my NARS, or excuse me, my Kaleidos conceal or highlighters. Sorry, why can't I use words? And this one, the Mars Melter, this is like the newer formula, I believe. I think I want to buy the original one before it's gone, but does it matter? I don't really know if it's something that's worth having. I heard that it's sort of different. This one is more like peen cleaning, but it essentially does like the same thing. One of my favorite highlighters of all time. I think this is what changed my mind on highlighters, if I'm being honest. So we're keeping my Prophecy highlighter is one of my favorites. I use this one a lot. And my Moon Cruiser is this beautiful like blue highlighter. Holding on to it, love it, really good. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And let's see, I have this new Soul Body highlighter from the Plush Like Me collection. You've seen me use this a few times. It is a very pink, highlighty kind of shade. I have been using this a lot. It smells so good. I love the way that the Soul Body products smell. They're so nice. So I'm gonna hold on to this one and put it in my basket because I'm really liking it. I'm also realizing that I just use a lot of the same similar tones in a lot of my highlighters. Oops. Okay, well, here, can I stick it in the back? No, okay, that's fine. And then this is the newest highlighter that I've gotten. I think I'm gonna keep this one out simply because I want to use it and give you guys a review on it, but it is that little cute jack-o'-lantern highlighter I just got. Pretty cute, pretty tiny, so we're gonna hold on to that. And then I have the new Nubian, the Heroin Glow 2. I'm trying to use this one as well so I can also give you guys some reviews, so I'm gonna keep this one out. If these three weren't necessarily new, I think I would tuck them away, but I want to use them. Actually, here, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tuck away my Kaleidos highlighters. I'm gonna tuck these away so I'm not tempted to only reach for these ones because I have other highlighters that I need to use and review. So we'll do that. And then I can tuck away these ones. Putting this in the thing is actually really hard. It's not as, I don't know, I wish it was kind of square. I like that it's round. Like, I think this is very luxurious, even for like cardboard packaging, but I wish it was square. I kind of, not a big fan of that packaging. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to end it today because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed going through all of my makeup right now. But I'm very happy with how I have things organized. The next set of stuff is going to be all of my like lip products, and I think it's only overwhelming because like I know that I have things I have to throw away because the amount of oil and separation is disgusting. And I don't know, I just don't think I'm ready to go down that journey. So that'll probably be tomorrow's video, is me finishing up and then kind of showing you the end result. But thank you for joining me and kind of going through my organization process. If you have any tips or tricks for makeup organization, please leave it in the comments down below. I would really appreciate it. I love talking about cleaning and organizing with other people because I don't know, I just like a clean space. But let me know in the comments down below what you do to keep your stuff organized and if you have any tips and tricks. And I will see you guys in the next one.